Hello and welcome to another edition of Jamaica Magazine. I'm Adrian Atkinson. Today we journey across stories that celebrate culture, highlight support services, and showcase the strength of tradition and transformation. There's something here for everyone. Stay with us. It's an edition you don't want to miss.
Social media is fun,
but it can also be unsafe.
To ensure our safety, we need to be smart. That's right. The first thing to know is that being on social media carries certain risks. So, being a smarty pants on these platforms will work in your favor.
Here are a few tips to keep in mind. Be careful about what you share. Know your audience by limiting who can see your posts. If something seems too good to be true, it probably is. Meeting people online can be exciting, but always stay cautious. Beware of catfishing.
To learn more about how to stay safe online, visit the Office of the Children's Advocate at www.welcome.oca.gov.jm.
Teachers, parents, and children alike,
stay smart, stay safe.
Thanks for staying with us. Life is full of changes, and sometimes that includes changing your name. Whether for personal, cultural, or legal reasons, making it official starts with a deed poll.
Just like birth and marriages, other milestones help to shape our identities in profound ways. Imagine living a life where changing your name is impossible. Thankfully, this scenario is purely imaginative because the Registrar General's Department RGD makes it possible through a deed poll.
A deed poll is a legal document that shows a name change. However, it does not change anything on your birth record. It is misunderstood sometimes that once you do a deed poll, you're going to get a new birth certificate. No. So we have customers who come in to say they want a deed poll birth certificate. We don't have a deed poll birth certificate.
You are ready for a fresh start with a new name. The process is straightforward, but there are some important requirements to keep in mind.
In order for you to submit a deed poll, you'd have to be over the age of 18 years. You would need to submit your birth certificate. You would need to submit your marriage certificate if you're married. If it's a case where you're married, then your husband, if the bride is the one who's doing the deed poll, the husband would need to give permission. And if it's a husband, then the wife would need to give permission in order to have the name change. You would need to submit any other deed poll if you had previously done. If you had any other name change to your birth certificate, the most recent document that has a name change on your birth is what you would need to submit.
And if you were adopted, you would need to submit an official copy of your adoption certificate. A letter of authorization is also needed if applying on someone's behalf. It should be witnessed by a justice of the peace or notary public and then recorded along with the deed poll at the Island Record Office at RGD. Once you have all the necessary documents, the process proceeds as follows. An interview is conducted. That is then followed by application and payment. During this step, persons are required to complete their application forms and pay according to the selected service type. Express service, 3 to 4 days pickup, $7,500. 7 to 10 days service, 7 to 10 days pickup, $6,000. Ordinary service, 30 days pickup, $5,000. The next step is the draft completion and manager review. The draft is completed and vetted by the avid manager to ensure it meets the required service time. This is followed by notarization and stamping, where the customer signs the draft in the presence of a justice of the peace. The draft is stamped at the stamp office located at 111 Harbour Street in downtown Kingston. The next step is to return the draft to the Registrar's General Department for recording at the Island Record Office. There are several costs associated with the recording process. For birth certificates only, express service, which allows for pickup in 3 to 4 days, is $4,500. For 7 to 10 days pickup, it's $3,000. And the ordinary service of pickup within 30 days costs $2,000. For recording birth and marriage certificates, the express cost is $5,000, $3,500 for 7 to 10 days pickup, and $2,500 for the ordinary service. Any additional documents accompanying the birth and marriage certificates for the recording process incur a cost of $500 each. So why do people decide to change their names? There are countless reasons.
Well, people do deed poll for different reasons, religious reasons. Some persons not liking the name. Some persons it might be a case where you cannot substantiate you being called Mary versus Mary Lee. There are no restrictions in terms of you changing your name. You can change your entire name, you can add a name, you can take out a name, you can interchange the names.
Thinking of adding a number or suffix to your new name? Think again.
We don't allow numbers, right? So some persons want to be called the third, or some persons want to be called the fourth or the second. No, we don't do deed polls to include those. Not with the Birth and Deaths Act. We don't use acronyms, we don't use numerals, we don't use senior, we don't use junior.
After your deed poll has been completed, your new legal name isn't just a formality.
It is an attachment to your birth certificate, so they walk hand in hand. It becomes your legal name, and that is a name that you would use when you're doing business, any transactions, any passport, immigration, banking transaction, you name it.
From legalities to personal choice, the deed poll process ensures your identity reflects your true self. Whether it's a fresh start or embracing authenticity, the Registrar General's Department stands ready to facilitate your journey. A happy home is a safe home. Here are some quick tips to keep household chemicals out of the reach of children. Tip 1. Clearly label all chemicals and store them in their original containers to avoid confusion. Tip 2. Use child-proof locks on low cabinets and store all chemicals on high shelves or in locked cabinets. Tip 3. Teach your children about the dangers and importance of safety around these products. Few simple steps can make a big difference. Keep your home safe and keep those little hands out of harm's way.
Life after prison can feel like a maze, full of uncertainty and obstacles. But with the right guidance, a clearer path forward begins to emerge. Let's see how the Department of Correctional Services is helping former inmates navigate their second chance at life.
The Department of Correctional Services DCS was formed in 1975 and plays a pivotal role in monitoring persons on parole and those serving custodial and non-custodial sentences. Their mission is to see to the security, rehabilitation, and reintegration of offenders as productive and law-abiding citizens.
The institution tries to mirror society in general as best as possible, so that on the release of an inmate, the reintegration will be as seamless as is possible. Our first interaction with inmates are when the courts send them to us. In general, the courts send 3 different categories of inmates: convicted, awaiting trial, and those that have been convicted and have appealed their sentences. In regards to the convicted persons, we hold inmates start ranging from 30 days to multiple life sentences. When they are admitted, first thing we categorize them in those 3 categories. Then we go to security, whether they are of a high security, which if they escape would pose a danger to the society and to the public in general. Then we have just regular inmates who cannot be held in low security but has to stay in one of the maximums. We also have inmates who can be classified and sent to the medium securities, which are the farm institutions, Tamarind Farm and Richmond Farm. They concentrate on farming, but they still do other rehab activities.
Meanwhile, female inmates are held at the South Camp Adult Correctional Facility, where they serve the same range of sentences in the 3 categories. Females who will soon give birth are also held at that facility and have a nursery available to them.
After 6 months, a report is done and a family member or a friend who could be a guardian of that child, and if the report come back as those people being suitable guardians, the child is handed over to them. If there is no suitable guardian, the child will be placed in a children's home, and at the release of the mother, they can be reunited. If the mother is to be released in a short period, say up to when the child is 1 year old, the child will be allowed to stay with the mother.
Rehabilitation in our care is under the arms of many branches, which would comprise the probation arm, the chaplaincy, the rehab industry, and the rehab branch. Within the rehabilitation branch, we have teachers at all levels. It's mandatory for the children to go to school and to be in vocational areas, as well as to be exposed to sports and chaplaincy. We also engage them in sessions with our case managers.
In addition, there are trained custodial officers who help with not only security, but also operate as social workers.
This is the initial part in terms of doing rehabilitation, where we have to assess where our inmates are, not just on the custodial side to see how severe of a crime or if they are high risk, but we also look at where they are in their biopsychosocial, so we can know whether or not they are high, low, or medium risk.
The Department of Correctional Services also provides a myriad of academic opportunities for inmates at the CSEC and CAPE levels.
So we offer more than 13 areas when it comes on to CSEC, and when it comes on to the CAPE exam, we offer 2. Some of the offerings that we have at the CSEC level, we have principles of accounts, we have principles of business, maths, English, social studies, history, to name a few. At the CAPE, we only offer now mathematics and economics.
The department also offers vocational courses that extend beyond the theoretical aspects.
We have vocational areas such as barbering, and this is at both the adult and the juvenile level. We also have welding. We have projects where we do masonry, plumbing, painting, and of course, most of our maintenance are done not just by officers within the institution, but inmates as well.
An infirmary is also available to inmates who have difficulty taking care of themselves. Professionals who work in the regular infirmary assist them in their day-to-day activities.
We also have family days where inmates are allowed to interact with their children twice annually, where fathers and mothers, in the case of South Camp, are allowed to sit with their children, interact closely for maybe 15 to 20 minutes, because these events are a big deal for the children to see their parents. We also have a system where inmates are granted parole. There are a number of reports that goes into the parole. We have the report from the institution, which is done by the superintendent. There is the police report, and there is the community report. All of those are viewed by the parole board, and then a decision is made whether or not that person will be granted parole.
Oftentimes, person would hear the sad story, but it's time for us to look at the success, look at the positive, to see that our inmates and our wards in our care, they are doing exceptionally well. They want to make a change, and we're asking that society will also buy into that to allow them to have a smooth reintegration. Oftentimes, there is a stigma attached, but we ask that persons will give them that sense of hope to say anybody can change. The fact that they are making strides within, we hope that society can forgive and to have an open arm so they can execute that which we have taught them, that which they have engaged themselves in. We hope that society can help as well, that we can meet that vision for 2030.
Bees are tiny giants, small in size, but mighty in their role of keeping our ecosystems thriving. That's why it's so important we learn how to protect them and ensure their survival.
I love the pit, pit, patter of the raindrops. I love the buzz, buzz, buzzing of the bees. But the thing I love the best is to know that we are protecting these pollinating giants. The lines might not go exactly as I said them, but as we learn from nursery rhymes, bees have a buzz, and it's essential for providing us with food. In Jamaica, beekeeping has blossomed into a vital industry with over 4,000 Jamaicans now engaged in this sweet enterprise. Far beyond just a profession, it stands as a cornerstone of environmental stewardship and food security. Yet, this rewarding and sustainable practice faces significant risks, particularly in regions prone to natural disasters like hurricanes. As we know, hurricanes bring with them a host of destructive elements: high winds, heavy rainfall, flooding, power outages, and landslides, all of which can pose severe threats to bee colonies. Beekeepers are advised to use ratchet straps or heavy-duty hive straps to secure hives to their stands. These straps should be tight and cover all parts of the hive to ensure it remains intact during the storm's winds. To help farmers prepare for hurricanes, the apiculture unit under the Ministry of Agriculture would issue an alert 10 days in advance. This alert normally advises farmers to secure their bee colonies by strapping them down, clearing excess vegetation around trees, removing any extended limbs, and ensuring that their apiaries are not located in flood-prone areas. And if the hives are located in a flood-prone area, it is best to move it to a safer location. If relocation isn't possible, beekeepers should elevate the hive stands with bricks or cinder blocks to keep them above flood waters. Duct tape or another strong adhesive can be used to seal the seams between hive boxes, preventing water from entering. If possible, covering hives with a heavy-duty tarp provides additional protection, but care must be taken to ensure adequate ventilation. Another thing, minimizing the size of hive entrances helps prevent excessive wind from entering, which can stress the bees and disrupt their ability to maintain temperature control. Lastly, beekeepers are encouraged to have a plan for feeding their bees in the event of extended power outages. Ensure you have an adequate supply of sugar syrup or other supplementals for feeding. As the nursery rhyme reminds us, bees buzz for a reason. Their work is essential to our environment and food supply. By taking these precautions, beekeepers can help ensure that even in the face of a hurricane, Jamaica's beekeeping industry will continue to thrive.
As a people, food can equate. But we must know when certain things too much. My advice to you is this. Swap out the little fried fry for some healthier options like baked chicken and baked potatoes. Avoid sugary drinks, my friend. Instead, grab a nice fresh coconut water to keep you hydrated and energized. We can also eat more fruits and vegetables. I know you love the ackee, but add some pineapple, banana, or string bean to balance it out, no? Fruits fresh and ready for your energy. Make a better effort to improve your nutrition. Every little change helps for the better.
In some parts of Jamaica, Saturday mornings come with a familiar call. Broomy, broomy. That's the sound of the broom man or woman making their rounds. Let's head to Clarendon to meet some of the artisans keeping this cultural craft alive.
Up on your feet and clean up the mess. Yes, look so dirty and you start for rest. Who no look you know.
This is O'Shane Mambi. Most people call him Jadon. He's a recording artist and broom ambassador. Yes, you heard right. A broom ambassador who hails from a family of broom makers. We met him at Grace Food Festival on the grounds of Hope Gardens in August 2024. And impressed with his broom jewelry line, we had to learn more of the driving force behind his creativity.
So Broomy was very unexpected. During the pandemic, Jadon released his debut album, 369, and he went to South Florida to promote, and we were locked down. So he looked around and he saw some bull thatch in Palm Beach and decided to make his first broom. Took a picture, put it on social media outside of Jamaica. And it was a wildfire of requests. People everywhere asking him to ship a Jamaican broom through the US mail. And he was just giving away brooms as a token to his fans during the pandemic.
By doing that, the demand was forwarding, for the product. And by being around the warriors that I was around in Florida, the song came forward, the Broomy song. A song came forward called Broomy. And by doing the Broomy song, we decided, you know what, the Broomy song was getting a lot of love. So we decided, you know what, let's take this to the next level. Because when I was in Florida, I realized something that I was looking for all of these years, and it's how to create that bond, to create that bond, honestly, to create more work for my community, because my community is a cottage industry. My community have something that is very unique.
It was after this brief interview and learning where he was from that we decided to meet some of the broom makers of Canaanites in Clarendon, a community that specializes in the making of thatch brooms. There we met Miss Daphne and Miss Janet, who have been making brooms for over 75 years. And Michael and Kenneth, broom makers for over 20 years. The brooms are made of thatch palm sourced from within the community and other parishes. It is held together with a stick, nails, and wires.
Me used to walk around, you know. Take bus and go town, come off a 6 mile, walk for a 6 mile with it on my head, reach a Constant Spring. I walk for all downtown, go a Golden Spring and beat it on foot come back down. But through me get up in the age now, I can't take it walking. So I just sell a mape in town. I just carry it out and lean up it and take them out 6 and walk around and sell. Yeah man, people buy man. Buy by the dozen, some buy 2 dozen, some buy 3 dozen, 4 dozen, and it depends. At the supermarket buy too. I sell them out of mape in town. I market there. But I stop selling broom and mape in, so tell me. I start make more, I got town. When I got town, I sell broom $50 and $70 you get for one.
When?
Yes, long time now. And then I left and got Spanish Town and start selling Spanish Town. I did Spanish Town, I don't know. So I can get $300 for one now, Spanish Town. In our market, you know, like when you walk, go out, you get 5 and then Monday. Everybody over here mostly can make broom, you know. Everybody. Because I just broom, mostly I survival over here, so. The people, different from who, when I work. You live here in the nights, then give the place bad name. If you go to out, if you go look like a work, then I give you from a Canaanite you come from.
You don't know, a survival, so you have to do it, you understand? Yeah. And switch to now young and no badness and all and something that we just go and do it, you understand? Give thanks, work and go and see you understand? Keep it out of trouble.
In Jamaican homes, traditional brooms have been used for generations, valued for their effectiveness and cultural importance. However, modern plastic brooms are now more common due to their durability and ease of maintenance, leading to a decline in the demand for traditional brooms.
These are original still the same way. Still have some people where nah look at them on the same way natural thing. Yeah, so. You sell a broom with 3 bills, 4 bills, all different price. The price is not stable, you know. You have a man cheap and that, you have a man dear and that same way. But as I say, that's survival, so you know, I give up, we still do things, you know.
I used to grow, we don't grow enough father, so we grow and learn for hustle. So we make broom and go up and sell. We alright. Can't go out of bed, nobody can wake you up, you see me? We gonna so we just stick to it. We sell them by dozen, 1, 2 dozen and them here there. So we sell a town and Spanish town. All over the road.
It's labor intensive.
Yeah, hard, yes, but if you put your mind to it, you reach where you want to reach, you see me? Sometimes all light can't do one time, you have to do some and leave some. Because I don't try to make for me them one day. Day by day, I do liquor.
As we conclude today's edition of Jamaica Magazine, we hope you found these features informative and engaging. Stay connected with the GIS through our website at gis.gov.jm and on social media. On behalf of the entire production team, I'm Adrian Atkinson, wishing you a fantastic weekend.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.